textile artist, most widely known for starting the yarn bombing movement. Yarn bombing is when you take knitted or crocheted material out into the urban environment graffiti style, or more specifically, without permission and unsanctioned. But when I started this over 10 years ago, I didn't have a word for it. I didn't have any ambitious notions about it. I had no visions of grandeur. All I wanted to see was something warm and fuzzy and human-like on the cold steel gray facade that I looked at every day. So I wrapped the door handle. I call this the alpha piece. Little did I know that this tiny piece would change the course of my life. So clearly the reaction was interesting. It intrigued me, and I thought, what else could I do? Could I do something like in the public domain that would get the same reaction? So I wrapped a stop sign pole near my house. The reaction was wild. It was like people would park their cars and get out of their cars and stare at it and scratch their heads and stare at it and take pictures of it and take pictures next to it, and all of that was really exciting to me, and I wanted to do every stop sign pole in the neighborhood, and the more that I did, the stronger the reaction. So at this point, I'm smitten. I'm hooked. This was all seductive. I found my new passion, and the urban environment was my playground. So this is some of my early work. I was very curious about this idea of enhancing the ordinary, the mundane, even the ugly, and not taking away its identity or its functionality, but just giving it a well-tailored suit out of knitting. And this was fun for me. It was really fun to take inanimate objects and have them come to life. So I think we all see the humor in this, but I was at a point where I wanted to take it seriously. I wanted to analyze it. I wanted to know why I was letting this take over my life, why I was passionate about it, why were other people reacting so strongly to it. And I realized something. We all live in this fast-paced digital world, but we still crave and desire something that's relatable. I think we've all become desensitized by our overdeveloped cities that we live in, and billboards and advertisements and giant parking lots, and we don't even complain about that stuff anymore. So when you stumble upon a stop sign pole that's wrapped in knitting and it seems so out of place, and then it gradually, weirdly, you find a connection to it, that is the moment. That is the moment I love, and that is the moment I love to share with others. So at this point, my curiosity grew. It went from the fire hydrants and the stop sign poles to what else can I do with this material? Can I do something big and large scale and insurmountable? So that's when the bus happened. This was a real game changer for me. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for this one. At this point, people were recognizing my work, but there wasn't much out there that was wrapped in knitting that was large scale, and this definitely was the first city bus to be wrapped in knitting. So at this point, I'm witnessing something interesting. I may have started yarn bombing, but I certainly don't own it anymore. It had reached global status. People from all over the world were doing this. And I know this because I would travel to certain parts of the world that I'd never been to, and I'd stumble upon a stop sign pole, and I knew I didn't wrap it. So